former city council member from Petaluma, so he comes to this park. It's in his neighborhood, his backyard, and I think he's going to grace us with a few of his wise words about the delicious, yummy politics here which make all this possible. Matt Macguire.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. It's a beautiful day to be outside. You know, we're here primarily to protest the needless death of the elk. The Park Service was notified over and over again by our loose coalition of the hazards that pertain here during a drought, and obviously they have not responded appropriately. But the background to this is that really this would not be an issue, and that fence wouldn't be here if the ranchers were not here. Now, it's been probably something like 50 years ago that the ranchers that were here when the park was formed were paid market value for their property. They were also given lifetime tenancies for them and their spouse to live out their days ranching here on Point Reyes. Now, at the end of those terms, though, they had organized and, you know, exercised their political power and got the powers that be and the Park Service to give them rolling, you know, 2-year lease extensions over and over again. Well, it's been interesting to learn how interbred the families are. There's a gentleman named Kenny Slayan who's suing the county of Marin in regards to the Marin Agricultural Land Trust shenanigans that you may know about, etc. But when you look at the family trees of these guys, it is a very well integrated group of families. It's really kind of scary. But what it means is that these guys are really, really seriously entrenched. I mean, why wouldn't they be? Look, they've got subsidized rent. They have the Park Service acting on their behalf to fix fences, etc. You know, they've got a good deal, and they've been doing it for a long time. Now, of course, you know, when they claim these historic ranches, yeah, they're in a historic district. That district was adopted not that long ago, a couple decades ago, and really, it's not really historic. This is just another political barrier to getting the ranches removed from our national park. But the bottom line here is that, you know, I'm not a vegan, I'm not a vegetarian. You know, I try to reduce my meat consumption, but the point of the fact is there are for-profit, private enterprise CAFOs. You know what a CAFO is? Confined Animal Feeding Operation going on right here in our national park. Now that is just fucking wrong. That is wrong, and it is time for the ranchers to go. And we think that the ranchers' star is fading. Because if you look at it, the people who responded to the park's environmental impact statement, 90+% of the comments were people who said, get them out. We don't want them here. They're damaging the land. They're killing the elk. It is not good for a national park to be exploited this way, all right? Same thing with the Coastal Commission. There's going to be a Coastal Commission hearing on the 22nd of this month. The Park Service has asked the Coastal Commission to rule that their management plan that they want to adopt, which is basically the same management plan they had before they were sued and forced to do a review, which shows that the intent to actually take in scientific information and make their determination of what's best based on that is a farce. They came back, they did 3 years of study, came back with the same recommendation. We're going to let the rangers stay. Oh no, this time we're going to let them have 20-year leases, and we're going to let them expand their uses, right? So now the Park Service is asking the Coastal Commission to rule that this is consistent with the California Coastal Act. Well, there have been over 35,000 comments from the public to the Coastal Commission on this issue. And the vast, vast, vast majority of them say, no, it is not consistent with the Coastal Act. It is damaging the soil biome. It is harming the migratory bird flyway. It is polluting the waters. You know, they claim, the Park Service claims, oh yeah, you know, we instituted best management practices for the ranches and dairies that drain into Tomales Bay. Well, guess what? Even when they adopted the best management practices, they're still polluting the water. It is still exceeding the safe water quality standards. Now, if you go to the Water Quality Control Board and say, hey, aren't you guys going to enforce this? They go, oh, no, that's the Park Service's job. You go to the Park Service, they go, oh, no, we have these ranch operating agreements with the ranchers. They're supposed to have a waste management plan. Oh, well, let's see them. Well, the ranchers design their own plan, and they monitor and enforce their own plan, and guess what? Nobody's ever seen them. It's called bullshit. It is called bullshit. So, where are we at? At this point, we are trying to get the Coastal Commission to rule on the 22nd and say, no, this is not consistent with the Coastal Act. Now, their staff has recommended that the commissioners say it is consistent if you adopt these conditions. The conditions they have proposed are a good step in the right direction, but they do not have enforcement measures coupled to them. So this is going to be more bureaucratic runaround if we don't get the commission to rule properly. So we're going to watch and see what happens on the 22nd. Regardless of what happens with the Coastal Commission, it is incumbent upon all of us good citizens to go and pound on Jared Huffman, Congressman Jared Huffman's door, and say, you know, whether I'm a vegan or not doesn't matter, Jared. If you tell the public what's going on here, they do not like it. They do not want it. And for a guy who is otherwise a really pretty good green congressman, he is wrong on this issue, and he needs to change his position. Now we have some good news, and that is that Deb Haaland, a Native American, is now head of Interior. Yes! Rumor has it that she has been made aware of the situation out here. Now, it is not the new park superintendent, Craig Kenkel, who we've had a nice conference call with, and we're going to be having another Zoom meeting with. Seems like a perfectly nice guy. He's not the decision maker. I'm told that it's the regional park director who does that. But if somebody at the head of Interior, who's the Park Service's boss, has some direction, guess what? They're gonna take that into account. But a lot of this is political, right? Jared Huffman's been able to skate on this issue because not enough people know what's going on here. Now that's for us to change. That's for us to write letters to the editor, and if anybody here is from Sonoma County, raise your hand. Write to the Press Democrat. Call the Press Democrat. The Argus Courier, the weekly in Petaluma, did a really good article this past week. They said the hook was that because these ranchers sell their products to Clover Stornetta, which is based in Petaluma. But this is an issue because this is our national seashore, this is in our backyard, and it's time for it to change. Now the public is with us, the science is with us, and the social justice is with us. This is the time for us to begin to prevail and get these ranchers out of here. God bless them, they've had a good run. They got an extra 25 or 30 years out of it, but it's time for them to go. So thank you for coming. Contact Jared Huffman's office. Keep writing letters, just wherever you can, tell your friends, and we're going to prevail. It's going to take time, but we will prevail. Thank you.